You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Good morning, San Diego. So glad you're with us. 6 a.m. on this Thursday. I'm Eric Conard.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Yeah, thank you for joining us at CBS 8. Getting you ready for today. It's probably a relief to hear it's not going to be as dry. Meteorologist Evan Roddy joining us. I think we're all over that.
Yeah, and it might even be the opposite. It might be wet by tonight.
Whoa,
yeah,
okay.
we have a few showers that are going to be coming on shore. They're going to be light. Remember, we've been below normal on our rain totals so far this water year, and this isn't going to bring us back to where we'd like to be, but it could give us a few hundredths of an inch, perhaps. Forecast for the day shows that along the coast and inland, we can expect those PM showers between about 3 and 6 p.m. seems to be the best window. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s for this afternoon, upper 50s for the mountains, and 70s out there for the deserts. In anticipation for this shift in wind direction, those winds are going to be picking up. We'll have a wind advisory in play. We also have a beach hazard statement close to the coast. We'll dive into deeper detail on both of these and what to expect into the rest of the week in just a few minutes.
Thank you very much, Evan. And now this just in, President Joe Biden is commuting roughly 1,500 prison sentences and pardoning 39 Americans. This is the biggest single-day act of clemency in modern U.S. history.
All of the pardons are for non-violent criminal convictions, and all of the commutations are for people who have served home confinement sentences for at least 1 year after they were released from prison. In a statement, Biden said, quote, "America was built on the promise of possibility and second chances. As president, I have the great privilege of extending mercy to people who have demonstrated remorse and rehabilitation." He also said he would be taking more steps in the weeks ahead and would continue to review clemency petitions. This morning, investigators are working to determine why a woman ran over an El Cajon police sergeant with a pickup truck. That driver is dead after being shot by police officers after they say she also tried to run over another officer. It happened yesterday afternoon outside the El Cajon Police Department as officers were preparing for the retirement celebration of a police captain.
Of nowhere, the truck veered directly towards the officers. The officers tried to get out of the way.
The sergeant who was struck has been released from the hospital. Per protocol, San Diego police are leading the investigation.
New this morning, San Diego County facing a multi-million-dollar budget deficit.
The county's chief financial officer says it could be a difficult few years. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live at the County Administration Building with a closer look at these numbers here. Regina?
Yeah, well, Eric and Netta, this is certainly something you don't want to hear from the County Board of Supervisors. Every time we're dealing with a budget deficit, that certainly means we could be looking at services being cut or certain projects being put on a pause. Well, they didn't go into detail of whether that can happen. They did say that they do not have enough funding to respond to all the requests that they're getting from different departments and groups. I do want to break down certain numbers, starting with the funding gap that the county has seen. That's over $138 million for fiscal year 2025. That deficit could grow to over $321 million in just 4 years. The funding requests they're receiving now exceed available resources, and this is partially due to a decrease in sales tax revenue and the county's general fund that dropped $255 million. Now, this all comes as the state faces a projected $2 billion shortfall, which can also trickle down to impact our county. Take a listen to part of what was said during that meeting.
Put it bluntly, the picture is not rosy. One thing remains clear. We are entering a period of profound uncertainty.
And the County Board of Supervisors also suggested reviewing certain programs that they might have had since 20 years ago that could be outdated at this point to be more prudent. I'll send it back to you.
Regina with the latest. Thank you for that. This morning, SDG&E says it has restored power now to all of its customers who were impacted by that public safety power shutoff. The outages came as high winds swept across our county, which led to red flag warnings earlier this week. Meantime, the Border 79 fire, that's the one that started Tuesday in Tecate, is fully contained after burning just a little more than 38 acres. 2 firefighters were hurt by a boulder. CAL FIRE says they are in stable condition but have not given any more details. The cause of the fire is now under investigation. CAL FIRE has launched a criminal investigation into a pair of fires that broke out in Ramona during this week's Santa Ana Wind event. We brought this to you as breaking news. 2 small fires broke out Tuesday at the Ramona Grassland Preserve. Firefighters calling them suspicious, saying they broke out at the same time of day in roughly the same area. They are reminding people that even though the wind event is over, people should avoid doing any activities that could spark a fire. We saw how quickly those could spread. Right now, Santa's helpers, they're hard at work at the U.S. Postal Service. They're making sure your holiday cards and all those gifts reach their final destination on time.
A lot of sorting going on. CBS 8's Chris Grow live at the post office in Serra Mesa during their busiest time of year. You better watch out. They may put you to work there.
Well, what do you think we've been doing off camera? We haven't just been sitting here chit-chatting. We have been, of course, watching as the work goes on, making sure and observing. Now, there is a lot that is going on. There's even more that's going to be going on. So I want to bring in Francisco here, who manages this post office, specifically here in Serra Mesa. And right now, what we're seeing, we see a lot of packages, but there are more on the way, right?
Yeah, we're still expecting 2 trucks. We're expecting one of a Postal Service truck and then an Amazon truck. So there's a lot more packages coming this way.
How busy would you say that this week compares to maybe next week?
Well, next week is going to be a lot busier, yeah. This weekend is supposed to be our busiest week, and especially on Monday, we're expecting a lot of packages.
So take me through what's going on here right now. I understand that's Wanda, right? Of course, the arm that's up there. And then, so sort of what does that do, and what are these two up to?
So these are my clerks, Bao and Miguel. This machine here is, basically they scan the package, it gives them a route number, and then they basically sort it to that bin or hamper.
Okay. So make sure that we expedite things, and again, even going ahead and making sure that we're getting deep inside that box. Yeah. Francisco, thank you so much for helping us out here. Jay, we have been talking, obviously, about what it is, best practices for shipping. We talked about maybe some of the do's and don'ts. What are some of the maybe mistakes that people make when it comes to holiday shipping, whether or not they're doing it themselves?
I would say one of the biggest mistakes that people make is actually, I would say, time management. Is shipping out really late, expecting for the packages to still arrive on time, and unfortunately, because they waited a little too long, it didn't arrive on time.
So let's go ahead, we'll throw those dates up on screen, and then we'll have you go through. We are looking at next week as some of those key dates here as deadlines, right?
Yes, definitely. So if you want to use our first class, it's December 18. Our priority, December 19, and the last minute express mail is December 21st.
Okay. Well, Jay, thank you so much again, as always. And guys, as we come back out here to this picture, Wanda, thank you as well, too. And thank you to everybody who's here at the post office. But coming up here at 6:30, we're going to be seeing even more action, 7:30 again. As the morning goes on, we'll be seeing more and more employees. We'll see the carriers begin to come in, and then they start to get their stuff ready to go out and make that holiday magic.
Yes.
Game
Eric
on.
Annetta?
Okay. And to clarify, Wanda would be that arm behind
Game on,
you?
yep.
Not the person.
Yeah, Wanda is the arm. Yeah, so
Wanda's the arm.
almost like
That's
maybe the
Wanda arm.
magic wand, if you will.
Sure,
Got it.
Wanda.
I see, okay.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining. All
It's an
right.
intricate web of organization there.
A whole world that we don't know because
Yeah.
we, obviously see the packages miraculously appear. We know a lot of work goes into it. Thank you for
Hard at
showing
work.
us.
I feel like it's a lot like my brain. There's little, pockets in there. May not look so pretty up
I was
there.
going to say, I don't
but it
know if
gets the
my
job
brain
done.
can function as
Mine is not as
efficiently
organized,
as
yeah.
that one. I mean, it's intense work, especially for the months of November,
Crazy.
December.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how much that work
And think
picks
of
up.
the work out there getting constantly
Yeah.
they're
delivering.
Oh, that
running.
is manual labor.
Oh,
That is busy work. How
Hats off
heavy
to them.
those packages can be. Yeah.
Right.
So it is going to at least be a dry rest of the week out there, with the exception of this evening where we have a few sprinkles possible. Staying very light out there. Let's talk about your beach hazard statement out along the coastline. King tides coming in, and that's going to lead to a rise in our tides along the coast for any low-lying parking lots, boardwalks. There could be a possibility of some minor coastal overflow, meaning some of that water and those waves getting close to the boardwalk and close to those low-lying parking lots through Sunday, with tides about 7 feet above sea level in some cases. Wind advisory is going to be out across our mountains and deserts through Friday at midnight, so through essentially tonight. That is going to allow for, through Friday at midnight, so almost into Saturday. That's going to be because of those 40 and 50 mile per hour gusts that are possible close to our deserts primarily. It's a very quiet start to the morning out there. Almost no clouds, just a few that are passing by. We've got wind speeds picking up throughout the day. That's why we have that wind advisory in effect. So today they're going to be climbing to upwards of 20, near 30 miles per hour. But tomorrow we're going to be near 40, 50 miles per hour toward Borrego Springs. Temperatures are going to be warming up by the beginning of next week, but for now we're in the more mild, about average range. Partly cloudy skies for most of the days moving forward. Seems like there's better indication that we could run into just cloudy skies, similar to yesterday as we get toward this upcoming Saturday, but otherwise it doesn't look like there's going to be much wet weather affecting our upcoming weekend. As we get into tomorrow, we'll have a better idea of what the weekend will look like, but we're still kind of honed in on that chance for showers for today into the evening hours between about 3 and 6 p.m. Out the door right now, mostly 40s, couple low 50s, still chilly out there, so bundle up. Look at Ramona right now, 27 degrees. Let's take a look at your drive times outside on the morning commute. So far, we're looking pretty good. On the 805 northbound, the 94 westbound, and the 5 southbound, got green across the screen. Let's take a look at your border wait times, where it is a 75-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. Otay Mesa Port of Entry is going to take you about 1 hour, so it'll get you across a bit faster, but only by about 15 minutes. Both of those are looking pretty good this morning. Back to you.